far more important than any particular investment strategy is simply how you think about Bitcoin. If you think it's just a speculative asset, then you're going to invest a certain way. If you think it's soon going to be the new global reserve currency, you're going to invest a different way. And if you think that, in the year 3000, people are going to look back at Bitcoin as one of the huge evolutionary developments of human civilization, like fire, the wheel, spaceflight, Bitcoin, well, then you might invest a different way. And you might even want to maybe get involved with the community. So this video is going to be a bit broad, but it's roughly going to unfold like this. I'm going to start with the libertarian roots of the Bitcoin project. I'm going to talk about how Bitcoin makes you a minimalist and sort of promotes a minimalist lifestyle. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about how Bitcoin educates you. And then finally, how Bitcoin gives us hope for a better world. And if you're still around at the end, we'll do the philosophical quote of the video. Let me start by saying I'm not really a libertarian. However, I don't think you have to be in order to appreciate the libertarian critique on Keynesian economics. In America today, we're going down this path of inflation because the government keeps expanding the money supply. And, we're seeing it in all kind of weird ways, right? On Twitter, I saw somebody posted a 2x4 that cost $7. It was like 5 feet. I'm not in the trades. I don't know how bad that is, but that seems pretty steep. They say this is to calm the markets, right? And to stimulate economic growth. The problem is that right there is a contradiction in terms. Volatility is truth. Small businesses, I think like 20% of them fail in the first year, and then 50% fail within 5 years. If the government can just print money and bail out the businesses that fail, what it does is it destroys the feedback loop, right, that those companies need to experience in order to learn from their mistakes and actually grow the economy for real. So this last year in 2020, the Fed created 3.38 trillion new dollars, which equates to about 18% of the overall money supply. That is insane, and it's a bit scary considering that there's many historical examples of societies experiencing hyperinflation when they are in decline. It was actually the Romans that invented inflation, and they did it by clipping the coins. They would actually clip little bits of gold from the coins during production and then use the purloined gold flakes to mint new coins. The coins kept getting smaller, the empire kept getting bigger, prices went up while purchasing power of the coins went down right along with the Roman Empire. So you see why for the last 5,000 years gold has been the best money. When inflation occurs, people flee to gold. The US dollar, which was originally backed by silver and then later gold, has slowly been untethered, right, from the gold standard. And the US government, in 1971, completely disconnected the dollar from the gold standard. And since then, they've been getting looser and looser with the money supply. Enter Bitcoin. Bitcoin takes away the state's monopoly power over money. And furthermore, it eliminates any centralized power over money. So like even before it was governments that had gold, it was just centralized kind of warehouses that kept the gold and then issued notes that made claims on the gold. Because gold is so heavy and so physically onerous to move around, the paper notes would become the money. But then the centralized people, whoever they happen to be, that have the gold, you have to trust them. With Bitcoin, this isn't the case. And with Bitcoin, you don't have the problem of moving the heavy stuff around. I'll get to that more in a second. Of course, the state can still tax Bitcoin, but it has to do it directly. It can't do it through inflation or deficit spending by Congress. The first ever block to be minted on the Bitcoin blockchain, it was called the Genesis block. It contained a message. It said, "Chancellor on the verge of second bailout of banks." I believe Satoshi was talking about the German chancellor. And this block was minted on January 3rd, 2009, right in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis and all the government bailouts in response to it. I don't think the founder and inventor of Bitcoin could have been more clear about the problem that Bitcoin solves. How does Bitcoin make you a minimalist? Well, what it does is it causes you to kind of question the value of what you are spending your monetary energy on. Because it's this thing, this brand new thing, has all the properties of gold, except you can beam it anywhere in the world in a few seconds. And so you're comparing that to everything else. And you're just trying every time you go to the store or anywhere where you're gonna spend your capital. You're wondering if you're the guy who, bought the 2 Papa John's pizzas for 25,000 Bitcoins or 10,000 Bitcoins back in 2013. You're wondering, it's always in the back of your mind, And so you just end up saying, no, I'm not going to buy that. Speaking of this new thing that we have, Bitcoin teaches you the properties that make good money. Money is a good that is used almost exclusively for the purpose of facilitating exchange. I say almost because precious metals have some utility and some uses outside of money. Money is itself a good. It has to be divisible, durable, recognizable, portable, and scarce. Scarcity is such an interesting property to think about because human beings, being what we are, we always want more of something, whatever it is. And money is the technology that will get us that something whenever we want into the future. And therefore, money, good money, will always be scarce. So why is Bitcoin giving us hope for a better world? For that, I want to jump into an article that I wrote back in 2017. I might take a closer look at this article later in another video because there's a lot to it, but for now I'm just going to read the end. The transfer of wealth from the boomers to the new generation is happening, and it's found its way to Bitcoin. Millennials have dispensable income to invest, but more importantly, we have the time and we have hope. Time to study crypto, get absorbed in the space, open accounts, monitor trades, and participate in these growing ecosystems. With luck, we'll be able to avoid the tremors and navigate to the promised land. Yes, the promised land. There is an element of idealism baked into this. It was stronger in the beginning, but remains a key driver today. Many of us are still hoping for a better world. The global unbanked, who were left out of the opportunities because the boundaries of the current financial system, they are here, and they are in crypto. And now everything is on the table. Currency, investing, business systems, even government. It's going to be a crazy ride. People will lose their shirts, and it may look like it's going to fail, But I think those who persevere will be rewarded in the long run and will be able to say that they participated in the blockchain revolution. Now, that's what I think. And I know that not that many other people think that, because this is why we see when some new corporate invests in Bitcoin, puts it on their balance sheet, we see a big spike in the price, and there's a new on-ramp like a PayPal or a Square. The trust is still kind of with the institutions on a fundamental level, but I think that will change. Thanks so much for watching until the end. We've got a quote here from Adam Smith. It reads, "It's the highest impertinence and presumption in kings and ministers to pretend to watch over the economy of private people and to restrain their expense. They are themselves, always and without any exception, the greatest spendthrifts in society." So see, we've always had this skepticism of central control of the money, particularly government monopoly over money. And the younger generation is literally rebuilding the capital markets from a new, sound money, rock solid base. And it's more secure, it's more structurally secure than the legacy financial system. And therefore, I think it will probably outlast it. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.